What is going on, my Las Vegas people, or people looking to travel to Las Vegas for some pretty cool off-roading in the United States? I'm Dylan with BreakingBolts.com, and this entire video is in written format on my website. Check out the description below. This video is going to be separated into three sections. The first being beginner/easy trails near Las Vegas, second being medium trails, and then the third being hard to extreme trails in Nevada or Las Vegas. The first trail in the beginner/easy trail would be classified as a short, easy route you can take in any stock Jeep, Bronco, or off-road similar vehicle you have. This trail is called the Caulville Wash North Trail. Now, 2 miles might not sound that crazy length and distance, but it's going to wow you in what you see. There's many scenic views along the route, and it's a great day trip to take out there and take this 2 mile long off-road trail. The entire duration you might spend out there would be 1 to 2 hours depending on the pacing. Hey, have you ever been to Alamo Road? If you haven't, it offers over 28 miles of off-roading adventure. The greatest part about Alamo Road is you can have a little bit of off-road adventure, you can have a little bit of hiking adventure, and you can even have a little bit of swimming adventure. It offers many fun activities along the way. Definitely bring your friends, your family out to this trail when you go off-roading. If you're going to take a day trip out to Alamo Road, then you should plan for food, water, maybe some extra fuel. There's not many conveniences along the way or nearby. Stepping up to 30 miles is Alamo Road. This would be the longest trail out of the beginner/easy trails I classified at the beginning. Alamo Road can take close to 3 or 4 hours depending on your pacing. Your vehicle is going to need a little bit more preparations prior to taking the trip on Alamo Road, like maybe some oversized tires if you really want to, maybe some skid plates you might have some clearance issues here and there. If you're in a low sitting Subaru, maybe you might want to trim up the fenders or plan for some of the fender plastic to get damaged along the route. Again, this is still beginner/easy classified off-roading, but make sure to plan ahead. The greatest and coolest part about Alamo Road is if you want to have a little taste of overlanding, make sure to bring your tent. There's unrestricted camping along this route. It might be a fun option this summer or this winter for you. Now, let's move into medium/intermediate off-roading near Las Vegas. The very first trail has a duration of about 1 hour to complete and about 6 miles, give or take. The name of this trail is Boathouse Cove Road. If you're planning on going camping out here, that's also available to you. This makes it into the intermediate/medium category because it can get technical in some areas. I would suggest you're in maybe a stock Jeep Wrangler, a stock Bronco, or similar off-road capable vehicles, maybe even a Subaru. There is something to be said about two-wheel drive vehicles depending on the time of the year you want to go on this trail. It is a pretty short route, so you could be pretty safe in taking a two-wheel drive vehicle out there. Maybe not so much of a Toyota Camry, but a two-wheel drive Chevrolet 1500 perhaps. Again, on the intermediate trails, we're kind of working our way up on the mileage. So the next trail is 10 miles long, and you can expect trail time being somewhere between 2 and 3 hours depending on your pacing. This is a little bit more technical than Boathouse Cove. You're going to find more hill climbs, some more technical areas, but it's still a pretty intermediate, medium place to go off-roading. I would say if this is your first time off-roading, you'd probably be safe to take this route. And for number 3 on the medium/intermediate is Wheeler Pass, offering 28 miles of decently technical off-roading you can choose from. It'll take you about 2 to 3 hours depending on pacing to complete, and it's more of the next stepping stone you can take into the harder trails inside of Nevada. Out of the previous 2 trails, this would probably be the coolest out of the bunch. You're gonna find some historic ruins throughout the route, and maybe, if you're lucky enough, even some wild horses moving through. Now finally, here are the hard trails inside of Las Vegas. The first on the hard trails would be classified as a fan favorite in the off-roading community near Las Vegas. That is Potato Road Ridge. This trail is only 9 miles long, but expect 2.5, maybe 3 or 4 hours to complete. This is a nice step up from the medium trails, but we're still kind of working into more serious trails inside of Nevada. I say this is, again, another stepping stone into more serious off-roading, because on the harder lines you can take along the 9-mile route, there are bypasses you can take around it. I would still recommend a modified Jeep, Ford Bronco, 4x4 Chevy Blazer, Suburban, something with a little bit more ground clearance. I probably wouldn't take a Subaru out here. I definitely wouldn't take a Toyota Camry out here. Maybe a two-wheel drive truck, depending on how serious you want to take that truck up these things. But you should definitely plan on a couple modifications on your vehicle, some extra ground clearance, maybe some skid plates over critical, power steering pump, oil pan, transfer case, differentials, stuff like that. We are stepping into harder off-road trails inside of Las Vegas. It's not of any issue if you have any sort of off-road capable vehicle. Finally, probably on my list at least, the hardest off-road trail near Las Vegas. And I'm not talking about the entire state of Nevada. I'm talking about close proximity to Las Vegas. That trail would be called Anniversary Mine Trail. Again, last trail was 9 miles. This trail is going to offer you 10 miles of off-roading, but again, expect maybe 3 hours, maybe 4 hours if you need to kind of pedal your way through these obstacles, depending on the type of vehicle you have. I would say if you're a beginner or intermediate off-roader, think twice before attempting this, or maybe make sure to bring a more experienced off-roader with you. I would say for sure definitely have a winch, definitely have some more ground clearance on your off-road vehicle, probably move into 33s or 35s, maybe some lockers on the front and rear, some tools with you in case you break along the way. It's kind of difficult to get a tow truck into some of these trails. Much easier just to replace the part you break along the trail. If you break a drive shaft, I'm not saying that you should carry an extra drive shaft, but having the ability to remove the drive shaft so you can go in either front wheel drive only or rear wheel drive only, depending on which side you break it on, is really nice for you, so you're not stuck camping there all night. Again, this entire video is in Word format on my blog, breakingbolts.com. You can find the link in the description below. Until next time, if you work on your Jeep or your rock crawlers, keep breaking bolts.